Welcome to the Shredder Show with Charlie Johnson. Today we're still into the series of Fat Loss Deep Dive, and today I'm going to discuss with you something that is very, very common with everyone, and this is the biggest mistakes that people make when trying to lose weight. Like, for me, it's always the same time and tested things over and over and again, the mistakes people make on a consistent basis, and they wonder, like, why over their entire life they've never been able to get lean, have they never been able to get in shape. So today I'm going to talk you through these to be aware of them, make sure that you're not doing them and you don't fall for these pitfalls that ultimately lead in frustration, failure, and a road to unhappiness, which we don't want to go down. So in regard to the first thing that I always see, which is probably the biggest mistake most people make, and that's too much too fast. People try to jump in at the deep end. So like they go for extremes. People like to polarize and go from like eating junk food, they eating crap food, doing no exercise, to suddenly they want to be like an Olympic athlete and train 4 times a day and live this Spartan lifestyle of eating chicken and lettuce and living the life in that respect. Like, reality, that's going to end up in probably after about 4 days you feeling broken, disheartened, frustrated, and you end up throwing the towel in. So I see the same things what I find super frustrating with, and no disrespect to anyone who's vegan, but people go from like a heavily processed junk food diet and then trying to go all the way to a vegan diet. And like, if you can't control just eating like a healthy, sensible diet, going to something extreme like a vegan diet, you're really going to struggle. So like, what we really want to do here with the process of losing weight, you've got to think first and foremost, this is you changing your habits and changing your lifestyle, which will be end up with you trying to lose weight and you losing weight in the end of being successful. You forcing the situation and trying to be like a bull in a china shop and trying to do everything from the beginning with, okay, let's go to the most extreme diet we can. Let's do keto. Let's go do a vegan diet. Let's eat fresh air for nothing for like the next 5 days. Like, that's never really going to work very well. And like, just think about it logically. If you struggle already to try and eat sensibly, trying to go to the complete extreme, like, you're really going to struggle. Very much just see the same thing with a training side of things. So the best thing here to look at is cardiovascular work. So cardio is a tool we use, not something we want to do all the time. We don't want to do excess amounts of it more than we have to. This is a weapon we have in our arsenal to use for fat loss. So we can't use this constantly all the time from the outset. So if you start, for example, on your fat loss journey, day one, you're doing an hour's cardio. Awesome. So you start to lose weight for a week or two. Then in 2 weeks, fat loss slows. Okay, so okay, let's do a bit more. It goes an hour and 15 minutes. And then week 3, fat loss stalls. Like, okay, we're going to do an hour and a half a day. And like, you can see where I'm going with this. If you start off doing huge amounts of cardio to try and lose body weight, what are you going to have to do in 2 weeks' time, 3 weeks' time, 4 weeks' time, as progress slows? Because it will, and that's natural. Like, the body's the most adaptable thing in the world. Like, you need to slowly use these things, like, as you progress. And that's why this is a process. And that's why, like, with clients at CJ Coaching, we take them through this process and this like transformation. It's not like, if it was as simple as be like, okay, let's do everything from start, bang, off you go, and then do that for 12 weeks. Like, the body doesn't work like that. The body will adapt to everything. So if you try and throw everything at it at the start, either you will break or it will adapt. So most of the time people train probably to be honest, give in before their body adapts to it. But in reality, like, your body will adapt to that and progress will slow. So what you want to try and do is get the most from the least. So you want to be able to eat as much food as possible, do as little cardio as possible to burn as much fat as possible. And that is the goal with the process of a transformation, is to get you leaner, losing body weight by not doing too much, too fast, so that we have more tools in our arsenal that we can bring in at week 3, week 5, like week 10. If progress starts slow, we can add more cardio in. We can add these things in because we haven't used them yet. If you use everything at the start, you have nothing left. You have no weapons in the locker to pull out when fat loss stalls. So like, don't shoot yourself in the foot and think, okay, tomorrow I'm gonna start losing weight. Let's go run for 2 hours. Let's go and work out. Like, I get so frustrated with this sometimes if like clients don't listen. Like, being coachable is something that I ask everyone when they join us. Are you coachable? Will you listen? Because this is probably a big mistake. I see these people add loads more sets on at the start of a training program, and then they're so sore they can't train properly, and then their energy's low. I'm like, so what have you done? I said, oh yeah, well, I added some extra sets. And I was like, there's a reason that we don't have more volume on there. If more was better, we would do more, but better is better, not more is better. And that's something we need to get very crystal clear about here. So Really focus about when you're looking to lose weight. Don't think about too much too fast. Don't try and throw the weight off as quickly as possible, because in reality, when you do that, guess what tends to happen with most people? They tend to pile it straight back on. So, or they don't last the distance, which is probably more likely eventuality, is they'll do it for a week and then throw the towel in. So really focus on doing things with a structured approach, with an approach, with a process, and with an actual reason of why you're doing cardio, or you're adding more in, or you're training more. Don't just do it for the thought process that more is better, and like don't do too much too fast. That makes sense. Next point we come on to is under eating. Now, this is very, very common, and like starvation tactics of like, that's a really, really easy way to lose weight, of course. Like, let's just eat thin air, and like it's like stupid diets. You get like the 5x2 diet, or the 6 days of no eating diet, and we'll just eat ice cream at the weekend for one day. Like, awesome. Like, I could come up with that as a diet strategy. I'd be a millionaire. I'd be like, okay, so we don't eat for 6 days, and on the 7th day you can eat Domino's and Ben & Jerry's all day. Awesome. Yeah, you'd lose weight for a while, but you'd feel shit. Your digestive system would be shit. You would be weak as a kitten, and you just feel horrendous. So like, what is it we really want alongside trying to lose weight and lose body fat and look awesome? Is to feel awesome. And that's the whole point of having the correct nutritional profile and having the correct amount of macronutrients, micronutrients that come into your body. So your body has energy, you have mental clarity, you can focus, and you can kick ass within your life, in business, in your personal life, in your family life. This is all about like having your body as a vehicle so that you can succeed with all elements of your life, not just being in shape to look pretty, but to like be able to be successful with everything, be well-rounded, be like, that's ultimately what I personally look for, is how can I have the life where I can have 10 out of 10 in every box in life, rather than just, yeah, cool, he's in shape and he's quite strong and he's fit, but like his business is a mess, he's got no personal relationships, like all these sort of things. Like, we want a well-rounded approach to everything. And this is very much the way you need to think about the fat loss process, is that this is like, what's your why? What is it you're really looking to try and achieve? And think about like, this isn't just about losing weight, and like, this is about the person you become to lose the weight. A lot of people just try and cut corners by just starving the weight off. So like, it comes down to like, say like intermittent fasting. Yes, I'm a fan of that in some circumstances. No, I'm not in others. So when would I not use intermittent fasting? So if someone has a very poor relationship with food, I would not use intermittent fasting, because guess what? The reality is that when it comes around to their first meal and they've been eating for 18 hours, chances of them being able to like control themselves, not eat junk food, not overeat calories, not overeat carbs. Carbs aren't the problem here, but not overeat. Like, it's probably pretty slim. And it's like taking a drug addict and then taking away their drugs for like 18 hours and be like, okay, you can have a little bit now for like the next 4 hours. Like, are they going to have a little bit, or are they going to have a lot? Like, in reality, they're probably not going to dip the finger in and have a little bit. They're going to have a lot. So that's why like intermittent fasting is something I recommend, and under eating isn't something we want to recommend either. So with under eating, I see it's most common with females, and like the under eating, what actually happens, yes, you will lose weight, but you're actually down regulating your metabolism. And particularly for a woman, this is going to cause a lot of issues in terms of your menstrual cycle, and a lot of hormonal effects here. So we really want to make sure that we have sufficient amount of calories going in. So for like a woman, I would never ever recommend you go below 1,200 calories a day. Like, fact. Like, even if you're going to like a competition or a photo shoot, like, you shouldn't really have to go much lower than that. And that's why I get pissed off with these stupid companies like Skinny Jab or whatever it's called, where they are promoting these fat loss injections which suppress your appetite, and then they give you 1,000 calorie a day diet. Like, this is not a way to lead your life. Like, the way to lead your life is to learn like how to eat, when to eat, how much to eat, up level your skills. You take control back of what you eat. Like, this is the keys you need in terms of losing weight, keeping weight off, and transforming your life to live a happy and long life, not just a short term 8 to 10 weeks of starving yourself, look good for a week, and then you throw it all back on. So point number 2, don't undereat. Point number 3 we're going to come into, and like, this is society like all over, which like I'm guilty of 100% as well. I've started my own fat loss phase this summer, and I'm like 5 days in and I want to be shredded, but I'm not yet in 5 days, and I'm a bit frustrated. Well, I'm not frustrated, I'm aware, but like, and what I'm coming on to here is you have to be patient. Like, patience is so important. Like, you can't build an awesome body in 4 weeks. You can't get shredded in 5 days like I'm wishing for. Like, these things take a little bit of time, and you just need to focus on taking it 24/7, 24 hours at a time. Do the best you can do on that given day. Tick all the variables you can, and that's how you set yourself up for success. So in regards to ticking off the variables, what do I mean? So for me, I'll be looking at, okay, have I eaten all the meals today correctly? Have I trained as hard as I possibly could do? Have I taken my supplements I need to take, like health supplements, protein, stuff like that? Have I focused on improving my sleep? Have I done the steps I need to do on that day? Have I tried to manage my stress? These are all the variables that I try and tick off on a daily basis to optimize performance, optimize the results, and then that will get to where I want to be of getting shredded as quickly as possible. But it all takes patience, because this isn't going to happen overnight. And as I said, this is a process that needs to be completed on a consistent basis, which then comes back to the point of what's most important here: creating the right habits. And that's really what we want to try and focus on. So like, that really, really is the key for so much here, where like a lot of people, they look for like a shiny fat burner or some sort of product like that. And like, in reality, that's not the answer here. The answer here is you being self-aware enough to know that the key here is your consistency and your commitment to yourself, that you will get to where you want to be if you just be consistent and be patient. Now, point number 4, this is like one of the most frustrating things I see all the time, is people not just listening to one person for a source of information. Now, this happens all the time, where you see people like ask every dude in the gym for advice, like, oh, what should I do to get lean? What should I do to get bigger chest? What should I do to get bigger arms? Like, the reality is, it's like the analogy of too many cooks spoil the broth. If you ask 50 people how to do something, you get 50 different answers. And how's that going to lead you? Probably horrendously confused. And it can give you no clarity in terms of like where you're going to go and how you're going to get there. And the reality, for you to get to where you want to be, you want a foolproof formula which you can just follow, get results, and not have to think about, and have one source of information for accountability, guidance, knowledge, and support. And that's what I'm really here to try and do, is provide you with information, education, knowledge, and help you up-level your skills so that you not only improve your physique, but improve your mind to get the end result we're looking for. Now, if you want help with your own transformation, your own fat loss journey, please drop me a message. We'd absolutely love to help. Or if you want to jump on board with Shred-Nate or Sculptor-Nate, only £37 a month to get a foolproof formula for you to get in the best shape of your life, hit the link below. Hope this podcast was helpful. It's an absolute pleasure to help you guys and try and educate you to not make these mistakes that people make when trying to lose weight. In the next episode on the Fat Loss Deep Dive, we're going to be going through the truth behind fat burning supplements. So see you there in the next episode. We'll be out in 2 days' time. Peace out, Charlie.